It's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly on KCMO Talk Radio. Now on 95.7 FM.
Well, let's start with the good. I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed, more so than I can ever remember as an adult, watching the Olympics this year. And Team USA dominating in the medal count, winning 126 total medals. China, as Trump might say, came in at number 2 with 91. We tied China with 40 gold medals apiece. And Japan, a distant third at 45 total medals and 20 golds. The UK, Great Britain at 53 overall. France at 64 overall and 16 golds. So, dominant Team USA performance at the Olympics, as you would expect. But for the first time in a long time, 2021 was Tokyo, post-COVID, everyone's wearing masks, no fans. I was not into that Olympics. Go back to Rio. I don't have a lot of memory of watching Rio. 2012 was London, kind of a similar deal. The last one I really remember was Beijing back in 2008. But the last 2 weeks, amidst all the chaos happening in the world, I found it as an opportunity to watch sporting events and actually watch it like as a family. Not that we all don't watch like Chiefs games and stuff, but when you're watching something and it's like not going to happen again for another 4 years, there's something about it that you enjoy. There were great storylines. I thought NBC did a very good job with the production. You could watch it like Saturday afternoon. We watched a lot of the Olympics together as a family. And then you could watch it produced in a much more fancier way on Saturday night or at night. You could watch it live during the day. It was just enjoyable. And then you had, winners here locally, right? So that was also fun to watch as well as you look back on the last couple of weeks, and whether it's Quincy Hall from Raytown South winning the 400 meter. That's all stuff that I thought made it fun to root for over the last couple of weeks. So I thoroughly enjoyed them. I'm going to miss them. And I was trying to explain to Claire how it's once every 4 years last night at dinner, and that kind of went over her head. She's like, I don't understand. Why is this once every 4 years? I'm like, well, that's how they do it. That's how it's done.
Next year, you got to take her to the KU relays.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do there, Mark. Great idea. That's a great plan. Great plan.
Back in my day, they had the summer and the winter in the same year. You talk about Olympic fatigue. So I'm glad they're staggering. So actually, you got 2 years to the next competition.
I like the stagger. Mm-hmm. But, the winter, I'm just, I don't ski. I don't do winter sports, so I'm not as into it. But, yeah, I'll try to get into the Winter Olympics here coming up in whatever it is, year and a half, 2 years. So that's right around the corner. Now, the bad from the weekend. Take a listen to this. This is from Kamala Harris's rally in Phoenix over the weekend. You always see the media, they talk to people at these rallies, and obviously Trump's been doing these things for years, and they always try to find, it seems like, some of the dumber people at these rallies. And that's fine. It's entertainment. Let's find the morons and let's have some fun with this, right? That's like, I'm okay with that because the reality is there's dumb people of all political persuasions. It's not unique. Now, certainly I think one side has a clue of what's going on versus the other, but I understand that there are dumb people of all political persuasions. So why is it that I just happen to stumble upon this clip from Kamala's rally, and I'm not seeing it get a lot of attention on any cable news outlets? Here are some Kamala fans talking to CNN over the weekend before her rally in Phoenix.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win. I mean, not to be, cocky, but I'm optimistic.
I've always been a supporter of she's a woman, and she's black, and she'll be the first president candidate that I think she will win. And like I said, I'm all about equal access and equal women health choice.
We get the politicians we deserve, don't we? You have these people there who can't tell you one reason they're voting for Kamala Harris outside of she's a woman, she's black, she's a black woman. In case you didn't know that, being a woman and being black makes you a black woman, by the way. How black? Well, that's up to you to decide. But this is what we get. I mean, you literally are hearing from people who aren't voting based on any substance. And it was interesting when they panned the crowd at the rallies, and there was a lot of social media attention on this. The bulk of the rally consisted of women over the age of 55. Now, I know political rallies are more likely to skew a little older, but like I saw photos, videos, and I did a kind of deep dive on this over the weekend. And, you know, that's basically the base of the Democratic Party at this point. You're seeing younger voters move, especially Gen Xers, move a little bit to the right. We know that Gen Z, the youngest generation, is very much split male-female. There's a massive gender gap there. Young men are far more likely to be Republican. Young women are far more likely to be Democrat. But the bases, I'm looking at the audience in Phoenix, and it's kind of a who's who of white woke ladies over 55. That's what it looked like to me. So I was like, okay, if this is your base, is that the coalition you want to build going forward? As voters of color start to look at other options like the Republican Party. It's just interesting to see it happening in real time. And that's what I noticed from the rally. And then, you know, what do you ask these people? And what do they say about why they like Kamala? Well, she's a woman, as one person said there on the clip, plural. Well, she's a woman. Cool. I think she's only one, but, you know, I don't want to get too caught in the weeds here. So that was interesting. The ugly coming out of the weekend is what happened over in Ferguson, Missouri. A police officer named Travis Brown is fighting for his life after suffering a brain injury on Friday night during a protest outside of the Ferguson Police Department. So Friday was 10 years since Darren Wilson shot and killed Michael Brown in a shooting that was determined by local authorities and Barack Obama's Department of Justice, Eric Holder, as a legitimate shooting. But it still, of course, is spun a certain way in the media narrative. So 10 years to the day, Friday night, since the Michael Brown shooting. There was a rally, protest outside of the Ferguson Police Department. And now a cop is fighting for his life after things went haywire late at night. Earlier this morning, we talked to McGraw-Milhaven, KTRS Radio over in St. Louis. And he said that he's going to have the Ferguson police chief on his show later this morning, and he will get us the information after anything comes out. But right now, you look at this situation. And by the way, this officer, McGraw told us, is a young man who joined the force in the wake of the Michael Brown fiasco to try to improve relationships in the community between police and their citizens. And now this cop, Travis Brown, is fighting for his life. Completely unacceptable, but very much on brand for some. There's your good, bad, and ugly.